how it started, how it's going. Yep, that's me. That was me about 10 years ago when I was brunette. And then I decided to stop dyeing my hair. I'm making this video because I've seen quite a few ladies asking on Facebook about exactly this. Going from brunette, which I was, to getting the colour completely stripped out. So I thought I'd make a short video. So I will take you through the story of what happened in my decision-making process in doing that. And it wasn't easy at all. So I hit menopause when I got to 47. And I decided to just absolutely go for it and have everything happen to me all at the same time. I just made a decision that I'd got really, really sick, fed up of constantly dyeing my hair every 3 or 4 weeks, because when I was brunette, like that, it wasn't that I was unhappy, but every 4 weeks I felt like I either looked like a skunk when the white line came in, or I looked like a tabby cat. You can kind of sort of see it in that picture there up close, but the camera on my phone's not good enough to pick that up. But I did look like a tabby cat, and the reason for that was because of the constant dyeing of brown hair dye, using brown hair dye. It was lighter at the roots because obviously I am grey, and then darker, 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 and all this build up, and it felt really thick, and my hair felt really, really unhealthy. So what happened was I was walking down Buchanan Street. I live in Glasgow, and I was seeing all these young women walking down the road with their hair dyed, what was called back then granny grey. I don't know why when women go grey, the word granny has to always get used, but with men it's silver fox. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, granny grey it was. So I was like, I'm spending about 150 quid every 4 weeks not to look like that. So I decided to let my roots grow in, and I had a really good rake around, and as you can see, it's not patchy. There are some dark bits at the back here still, but you can see that it's thanks mum, I've inherited it all off her. So yeah, she's done a good job at passing it on to me. I do use a blue shampoo on it just once a week just to kind of like top it up. But anyway, let's continue with the story. So what happened was, the hairdresser that I was seeing at the time, I said to them, this is what I want to do. I'm getting fed up dyeing my hair all the time, and like having to get brown hair dye off your ears and, you know, around the back of your neck. And it was just like, oh, for God's sake. Anyway, they said, yeah, sure, it can be done. Now, I didn't do my research. I just thought, they said it can be done, I'm going to go for it. So I did it. Now, my hair was short. It was like this kind of style. It wasn't great long that I see some girls with, or some ladies with, like down to here. It was quite short. I haven't had my hair like shoulder length for many, many years. So what happened was the bleach went on. Can't remember how long the bleach stayed on for, but when it got washed off, it was like, because my hair was actually pure white. There was no colour in it, nothing. It had been completely stripped back, and I'd been left with these bright orange ends. So they put a toner through it, which made it go this kind of like, I either should have been in an 80s punk band or possibly stuck at the top of somebody's pencil. That's pretty much what it looked like. It was yellow. It was like a yellowy blonde. And I was like looking at myself going, oh my God. So that's when I had the proper menopausal meltdown, because I changed my hair colour, didn't know how to dress, didn't know how to do my makeup. Was still doing my makeup the same way that I was doing it when I was in my 20s and 30s, which totally didn't suit me because my skin tone had been completely changed. Hence another reason to just go natural with the hair colour, because it suits my skin tone much better. I have had so many people telling me that they think I look younger with the grey hair, and it's like, okay, work that one out. Anyway, so I was left with this yellowy blonde hair, and nobody told me, the salon didn't tell me, do not put heat near hair that's been bleached. because hair that's been bleached is porous and it will hang on to every bit of moisture that it can get. So what happens is the hair expands and it just goes like that. It literally puffs up if you put heat near it. So when it was wet and it was slick, it looked okay. But the second I let it dry, either naturally or using a hairdryer, I just looked like a troll. I didn't know what to do. So anyway, the Facebook research started with who the best hairdressers and colourists are in Glasgow. And there's one lady who is a burlesque performer, I'll have you know, and she's fabulously blonde, Dubai Deluxe. And I thought, right, she knows her stuff. I'm gonna follow the yellow brick road with her and see where it takes me. And it led me to a salon, Hair by Tony, I think it was called at the time, Tony Sheriff's in Glasgow. Anyway, found this girl called Rosie Peters, who's incredibly young, but an absolute wizard when it comes to cutting and colouring. She's just got this instinctive knowledge about her, about how hair behaves, etc. Anyway, to cut a long story short, she rescued me. She did bleach it another couple of times to try and get that yellowy colour toned down. And then she was the one that said, let's just leave it to grow out, shall we? And I thought, okay. And that's what we did. And this is what I got left with. So bravo to Rosie Peters. If you're in Glasgow, she's at Hidden Hair and Beauty. And if you're not from Glasgow, she's worth the journey. Speak to a specialist. But really have a good think about why you're doing it. So, as I said, my hair's quite short. I stripped the colour out because I wanted to eventually stop dyeing my hair to let it grow in like this. I didn't bleach the colour out to stay blonde. I didn't want to go from brunette to blonde. I wanted to go from faking being a brunette to just going to the hair colour that I've got now, which I'm very, very thankful for. And even though I'm menopausal, it's actually stayed quite thick too. So I'm really, really grateful for that as well. I do get my eyebrows waxed and tinted because they've gone grey. And if you don't put your eyebrows on, I really do think it just makes you look featureless. So again, if that's what you need help with, find somebody that's, that's an expert in their field with that. So anyway, I hope this video has been useful. And as I say, the reason that I did it was because I just wanted to stop dyeing my hair altogether. I didn't want to go from brunette to blonde and keep dyeing it blonde. That's a different story. I wanted to go from brunette to getting rid of the colour to growing it out. And if that's the stage that you want to do as well, then I heartily recommend it. But find a hairdresser that you trust and that is an absolute wizard when it comes to colouring. Get in touch with me if I can be of any help. But yeah, do your research. So my research was after Rosie said, let's grow it out. I was like Googling women, with brown hair and, not brown hair, with brown eyes and silver hair. And I thought, that looks all right. And then I saw this woman called Sarah Harris, and she works for Vogue. And she was like, ooh, her skin tone's quite similar to mine because I tan quite reasonably well, but with silver hair. And I thought, yeah, I can carry that off. So that's my story there. A cautionary tale, most definitely, because I will be very, very honest and tell you that when the bleach came off and I left the salon, I was in shock. And I did do quite a bit of crying, and I was like, oh my God, I've made a mistake, I'm going to dye my hair back, I'm brown again. And I nearly backpedaled on the whole process, but then I thought, no, you've got to really, really, pull yourself up by your bra straps and get on with this, because I know what the end goal is going to be. But I did have a total meltdown with regards to didn't know how to dress, didn't know how to do my makeup. My confidence crashed through the floor. That's another menopausal video there, isn't it? About all these women that their confidence just completely crashes and they get stuck on antidepressants when what they need is HRT. That's a hand grenade I'm just going to throw at you right there. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's given you what you've wanted to hear, as in, like, if you want to stop dyeing your hair and go for it, this could be the end result. But if you're wanting to go from brunette to blonde to keep dyeing it blonde, then find somebody that really, really knows what they're doing, because your hair will look trashed for about 6 months. Oofed. Anyway, leave comments below of any questions, or if there's anything I can do to help, then get in touch and I will reply. So enjoy your day, whatever you're up to. Thanks for watching. Bye.